So before I get started on New Beginnings, and I promise this will be relevant at the end, but I'm first going to give a little update on the church school changes. So as you all know, we've made some changes to our church school program, and I just wanted to go over a few of them with you. So every week when the kids are in class, what they're doing is they're hearing a different story with props and such. So I have a box with me here today that has props for our story. So we start out with some props. This one happens to be felt figures. Some of them have been wooden figures, whatever we can come up with. And the reason why I'm starting with this today is because on Saturday we are going to, at 5, 6, I'll get you the time. We are going to be meeting here with anybody that can join us because we want to get some of these boxes put together for the rest of the year. So we'll have everything you need, unless of course you want to bring your own supplies in, and I have some stories if you want some to get prepared. But we're looking to get all of these put together, and it's at 6, thank you, Shannon. So you will see by the end of what I have to say about New Beginnings why this is important. Okay, so now on to my New Beginnings thoughts. So when I started thinking about this, I decided I would give everybody a little history first on how I ended up here at this church. So I grew up attending another one of the churches in town, the denomination that my dad was raised in. However, my dad didn't attend with us, and my mom has always worked on the weekends. So my brother and I were dropped off just in time for Sunday school and picked up right afterwards. Since my parents weren't lifelong members, my brother and I were really never accepted and didn't feel like we fit in there. After spending the night with a friend one day while in high school, I ended up at a Sunday morning service here. For some reason, and I really still don't know why, but I felt at home right away. As soon as I was able to drive myself, I changed my Sunday attendance to this church. Over the next several years, I was able to convince my then boyfriend to start attending with me. I have many memories of announcing our engagement to the congregation, having our wedding in the old building, and trying to figure out how I could get the pink walls and the red carpet to look okay in our pictures. To waddling through the doors 9 months pregnant twice. All 4 of us being baptized in this church. So I bring this up to point out that as a family, we have many great memories with this church, and I have always felt completely loved by the family we have here. So as we're embarking on this new journey that we're calling New Beginnings, I want to be reminded of all the good times we have shared, along with some of the bad. I want to ensure that others are able to have a place that they can feel the exact same way, feel loved regardless of their history of the church, their thoughts, their dress, whether they're hungry, who they choose to love. I want them to know that they have a place where if their path takes them through us, they will end up being loved. While thinking of these hopes that I have for my children, my grandchildren, nieces, nephews, friends, I'm brought back to a story that was discussed in church school a few weeks ago. I know that you have all heard me talk about the program, of course, but I thought now would be a really great time to show you how the kids are going through the classes. So I'm going to tell you a story that will be relative to my thoughts of New Beginnings. So we all know the answer that Jesus gave when asked, "What is the most important law?" When Jesus responded to the lawyer that he already knew, the lawyer then replied, "Yes, we are to love God and love our neighbors." The lawyer then asked, "But who is my neighbor?" Jesus then proceeded to tell this story. So a person was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and robbers came and attacked him and hurt him and took everything that he had and left him by the road. When he saw the man, he passed by a great priest from the temple in Jerusalem was going down the road. When he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. Later, a Levite, a person who also worked at the temple, was going to Jericho. When he saw the man, he also passed by on the other side of the road. But a Samaritan, who was not even from the same country, came to where he was. And he saw the man. He had compassion and went to him. He put medicine and bandages on his cuts, put him on his donkey, and brought him to an inn and stayed with him all night. He told the innkeeper that the man could stay until he was well, and he would pay for it all. So now at this point in the story, we start asking questions about the story to the kids for them to think, question, and wonder about. I'm going to ask you some of those same questions now that we discussed in church school. No response is necessary, but feel free to speak out if you wish. Which of these three men was a neighbor to the person who was hurt and robbed and left on the side of the road half dead? I wonder if the person who was left by the side of the road half dead had a name. I wonder where he came from. I wonder who could have been a neighbor to those robbers. I wonder who was a neighbor to the priest, or the Levite, or the Samaritan. I wonder how it felt to see people walking on by as the man needed help. I wonder how it felt to walk on by knowing that that man needed help. I wonder what would happen if I were in need, left on the side of the road half dead. And I wonder what kind of neighbor I would be if I were walking down the road that day. So I would like us all to remember this story and keep these questions in mind as we embark on our new beginning. I would like us all to remember that we need to be like the Samaritan, stopping and helping those in need without asking any questions as to why exactly they need a neighbor today.